Hi, in this video we are going to discuss about what are all the different types of testings we use to perform on our application in the part of black box testing. These are all the 12 different type of testings we use to perform on any application. If at all we are getting an application from the development team, depends on the application architecture. Mostly we used to perform these 12 types of testings on our applications. Depends on the requirements from the client. If for example client asks only GUI testing, then we are going to perform the only GUI. Our client asks us to test the business logic also, then accordingly we will test it. Client asked us to integration between one system to other system, then we will perform that level of testing also. So that depends on how we are getting the requirement from the client. Let me discuss one by one very clearly these 12 types of testings. I hope at the end of my series of videos you will understand when we are going to do what type of testing, what is the use of each type of testing and all. Right, well, so first type of testing. First is a smoke testing. This is the first type of testing we are going to perform on any application once we get the build from the development team. Here I have used new word build. Build is something like the developed code, we can call it as a build, or one version of developed code which is giving it to the testing team, we can call it as a build. Build is something like some part of development code which they are giving it for testing to the testing team is a build. Whatever they are releasing it to the testing team, every build you have build number for tracking. In that build, what all the issues are there, previous build, what all the issues are there, everything we need to track it out. So the development team will give us for testing. Smoke testing is the first one we are going to perform on the any build or any application from the development team. What we are going to verify in the smoke testing? In the smoke testing, it is a this type of testing we are going to use for checking the build stability, whether that build is stable or not. Are we able to continue with our testing on that build or not? So finally at the end of smoke testing we can find out whether to accept that build or not for further testing. So once we get the build from the development team, release notes one document will be there. That document contains what are all the features or functionalities they have developed it, what are all the known issues are there. Known issues means already development team identified the bugs, but due to the lack of time or other reasons they may not fix those defects. Those are all we call it as a known issues. So release notes document, every build they are going to share it to the testing team, so that we will understand what functionalities they have developed it or added it, what are all the known issues are there. In the smoke testing, from testing side, we are going to check each and every functionality is working fine or not. At least basic functionalities are working fine or not. Let me take a Gmail example. If login page itself is not working, how we will test the inbox, sent mails, other features in the Gmail? It is not at all possible. So that is the reason if we accept the, for example, Gmail application for testing, login itself is not working, then there is no matter to accept that build for testing. So that is the reason first, before accepting the build, we need to do a smoke testing on our application. Basic functionalities are working fine or not. If those basic functionalities are working, then we will accept the build. Otherwise, we will reject the build. Team lead will send a mail to the development lead or manager, mention that we have performed the smoke testing on this build, but basic functionalities itself not working. That is the reason this build we are not accepting. Please fix all the issues and send us the latest build for testing. So that way lead will send a mail to the development lead or manager. Then they will work on it again. They will send a new build for us for testing. What it means, what the meaning of basic functionalities? At least 70 to 80% of the basic functionality should work. Then only we can say it meets the acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria means it is the our benchmark to accept the build. Acceptance criteria will tells us benchmark of the tester to accept that particular build. If once it meets acceptance criteria like 70 to 80% of the basic functionalities are working, then we can accept the build. Why we can accept the build? Because if 70 to 80% of the functionalities are working, then happily we can work with the application without any major issues. Some low level functionalities may not work, then that is fine. Later on they will fix it. At least a high level we will continue with the testing without any showstoppers. Showstopper means something we cannot go ahead further. That is a showstopper. If any showstoppers are there, we cannot proceed with our testing. So that is the reason at least the build should meet the acceptance criteria like 70 to 80% of the functionalities are working. Then we can accept that build for major testing. So usually smoke testing will take 2 to 3 hours time. Entire team will concentrate on 2 to 3 hours. At least major functionalities are working or basic functionalities are working or not. If it is working, immediately we will send a mail to development team that we are accepting the build. If something is not working and so many showstoppers are there, then we are going to send a mail to development team saying that it doesn't meet the acceptance criteria, hence we are rejecting the build. So this is about the smoke testing part. Similarly, here we are checking the basic functionalities. The next level of testing is sanity testing. This is also for checking the build stability only. This type of testing also for build stability testing only. But whereas in smoke testing you are checking only the basic functionalities or major functionalities, but whereas in here we are going to check the next level major functionalities also. For example, top level 10 functionalities are there, next level 10 minor functionalities are there. Whereas in sanity testing we will take more time and we are going to verify major functionalities plus low level functionalities also to confirm whether that build to accept or not. So difference between smoke and sanity is smoke only the basic or major functionalities you are going to verify, whereas in sanity along with the basic plus major plus low level functionalities also we are going to verify to confirm whether the build is stable or not, or to go ahead with the further testing on that build will be decided by the smoke testing and or sanity testing. But most of the cases any one type of testing the companies will follow, either smoke testing or sanity testing, because both the purpose is same, to verify the build stability, whether to go ahead with further testing on that particular build or not. Because if at all so many showstoppers will be there, there is no matter to accept that build because we cannot proceed with the testing. So that is the reason we need to perform the testing initially on that build, and we will verify the functionalities whether to accept that build for major testing or not. So this is how in both the cases we need to verify whether it is meeting the acceptance criteria or not. The acceptance criteria may be company to company will change, but on an average 70 to 80% of the functionalities are working, then usually we will accept it. Otherwise we will reject it. That will vary from MNC to MNC. So that's all for this video. We covered smoke testing and sanity testing. In the next video I am going to cover remaining testing types. So thank you so much. Please don't forget to like my channel and encourage me. Thank you.